was sinking down. I was in a bad condition. I was bound up like twine. Geez, sorry, sound like I'm singing the blues here.
If you're not too white to have the blues, you're not too white to sing them.
I mean, I looked out. It was all strangers. More and more strangers this town. The longer you live in a place, it's not supposed to be more.
Yeah, but this is not a place. This is New York.
All these strangers.
Well, sometimes the stranger you're most afraid of does you the favor that saves your life.
Do me one more.
What do you need, pal?
I'm feeling awkward over this saving of life business. I can't explain it. It's embarrassing to have your life saved. It's like yeah, he sang, but he sang wrong. Know what I mean? So I was wondering, could you make this all a dream?
How the hell do I do that?
I think you'd be talking to me differently.
Like how?
It's what I see on the battlefield.
Like what?
It has 7 bright mistakes. It has me in it as me, but not the hero.
Like when?
We went to get the remains, and when we got there, the remains weren't there. We had to go to the 15th floor to get the remains, and when we did, they tasted of radio.
You guys were never there.
No, and we don't intend to have been.
I've been to hell and back.
I've been to New Jersey.
All the debris.
Elephant stories.
All told.
You told.
See this girl here on an average woman day? Blonde curls against a pure bare back. Her brother won't get soft. Drink from any chandelier. 6 meters, parking meters, staggered 3 by 3. You've got to feed them. Why? This is America. This is now. This is extremely well lit under the right Republican sun. This is cool. This is verging, believe it or not, upon the sublimity of jazz. You've got to feed them. Why? To keep in time. Nowhere, pal, is just New Orleans, just Jersey, just Chicago. Not once the sun rises. Hello, Dad. At the sign of the 3 rats, Picasso rose from the table, said, "Your century looks sad." But that's a lie. He didn't really. At the sight of it so consumes me, I cannot take my eyes off. Sitting there at the sign of the 3 rats. He, the man, the wise, the ballsy, the genius, the painter, Picasso. A kind of a rat too, with that ratty tuft, the color of rat's hair. And
are we going to tuxedos?
yeah, it's okay not seeing you for a month, not being in the union, fucky, looking for a pool cue. The other guy started to give me a handshake, Ethiopian style, which is really intense. I thought I would use it to stay awake, give me at least an outline of some square juice, so you can do the things you do. You can march in the aisles now. How old were you when you first went camping? You retain some of the same old excitement?
It was one great hand.
How do you feel now? How do you feel now?
I think now I'm a stranger to myself.
Well, that's a beginning.
Beginning? I can't begin without advice.
You want 4 pieces?
4? That's a lot. 4 is a lot.
This is just the end of the first round of the Justice Machine.
4 is good then, right? 4?
4 is good, assuming... well, not every scholar moves to the town of his books. You all cocked up for it?
If I had a pen and scrap to write on. If I had a...
1, don't change democracy.
If I had a...
2, never purchase a paper with the intention of reading it. 3, perish the thought of a child's face in the morgue. 4, refuse to bid against the void.
I think I must have blanked out for a second. Could you run those by me again?
1, go into the world, see if it holds up. 2, check to see if there's a damaged Pennsylvania. 3, every 70 years, go home. 4, We are the race that bounded over the seas. We are the race that stormed over the plain. But all roads lead to Congo Joe.
Can we can we go back to the first one just for a second?
One more savior station around Renoir equals one less John Wilkes Booth.
Got it. You know what? Better just hit me with the last three one more time.
Jellyroll, that's your name, right? Jellyroll? Are you aware of the fact that every American pianist of any consequence is also a first-class Canadian bootlegger who can prove his way out of this country in half an hour?
Wasn't aware of that.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Do the shap strappers.
How do you like that?
No, I can't.
What I'm saying.
Seriously. Do what I mean I could do it for you. Right here. No preambulation. Like now. Not that you'd want it, but if you did, I could do it. Do it as a kind of a gratitude, or else as much as to say not a totally useless bastard.
Just like that, off the top.
It's not off the top. You can't do it off the top. It has to come from elsewhere.
Are you saying you want me to sit here, driving along sunny side of the street, looking out the windshield, whoever it is that I am, entertaining the thought that you, whoever you are, from all the little that I know, can do the shap strappers? Just do it in the car? Make it happen?
Try me.
Well, go slow. Let's be clear, because it's you setting yourself up for this. Is that clear?
Put up or shut up.
Yes, but I never asked.
Ask.
Love to hear you do the shap strappers, Jellyroll. Will you?
As they sew the little barefooted black girl bluntly, not to say brutally, the reporter, black too, absorbed it with such finesse when she first wrote about it all those many years ago. Here again, with the wisdom of age, heavier too, is sobbing uncontrollably, and the camera catches her head bobbing up, down like a puppet through the shoulders of the plow pushers and skeep jails and craps dusters and crow shooters and pig chasers and barn burners and yard bards and sack packers and hare hunters and door-to-door fornicators and brawlers and sermon abominators and porch pew pontificators and mule thackers and bull whippers and AWOLs and deputies and gat-toothed jiggery-roo stumblebum nephews and third-rate second cousins and first-class draskmasters and prosperous whiskey pharmacists and jape scrapers and yerd yankers and flank hankers and straw suckers and husk chuckers and stoom spooners and shap strappers and shit slippers and furk fondlers and lap nappers and wing stinkers and sons of Stonewall Jackson with nowhere to go since 1:30 in the a.m., July 6, 1962. Holding the girl. Brotherless child. Godless, too, obviously, as they sew her up, all strictly legal and basically meaning to do good, but it's a crude, dustful surgery. Whimpers, weeps, twisted spine. Now I am thinking, looking immovably at the reporter. Now, at last, you can see what is here.
Good matinee work, pal.
Thank you.
Things were otherwise, they'd take you to the movies. Sex, cops and killers, sci-fi, slapstick, even take you to the airport. French, get some intellect.
Sounds ripe to me.
All part of the ticket, because that was a shap strappers.
Thank you.
But I am not in the giving vein today.
You saved my life. Made me a dream. Gave me all this advice. You complimented my shap strappers. I certainly don't need to go to the movies. Be nice, but already grateful. You, God knows, gave enough for one day. By the way, where are we going?
We're there.
Are we? We're moving. We're on the roadway. What do you mean there? We're going to pull over?
No.
What do you mean there? We're there.
Right here, this room.
This is a car.
The car is a room.
Yeah, but a car is a car. What are we going to do here?
Drive.
Not forever.
Well, why don't you wait to see about that? You might change your mind.
You mean traffic. I know what you mean.
I don't mean traffic.
Then I don't know what you mean. What do you mean exactly? All I said, not forever.
You said.
I said.
What did I say?
Something about I oughtn't to be so sure, which makes no sense.
Unless?
Unless? There's no unless. It makes no sense. How could it make sense that this could be forever? We're in a car. We're driving. I'm sitting in the back seat. When did it happen? Where'd I lose it? From the start? Did I never have a chance? Or I did and I screwed it somewhere?
You didn't lose it from the start. Well, you lost it where a lot of people lose it. You didn't have a pen or a piece of paper to write on. Only one thing anyone could say to that. Doesn't have a pen? He's how old? Uses a pantomime pen on a pantomime pad to show me he's got it? It's mental? Well, up his, let him make that mental. You can't blame me. See me without a pen, without a pad? Or would you? I was the sort of a guy who needed them.
Is this something to do with God?
God? Small potatoes.
What's bigger than God?
Everyday life.
In the FDR Drive?
And I'll tell you something about everyday life. You are not worthy to stoop down, untie the laces of its shoes. Untie the laces of its shoes.
This isn't my father's car, is it? This looks like my father's car. Is this my father's car? If this is my father's car, it'll break down in no time, trust me. He'd never drive anything that wasn't a piece of shit, so you might have tripped up there. Goes along, runs, goes along, and suddenly, he takes it to the worst bunch of assholes. He likes them because it's cheap. Of course, they never repair it. Then, when there's nothing else to do, when even they can't pretend they can fix it, he buys another car, exactly the same piece of shit. So if this is my father's car, we'll be walking, I'm just telling you. What's this box? This isn't my father's car, is it? Is this my father's car? This looks like my father's car. If this is my father's car, it'll break down in no time, trust me. He'd never drive anything that wasn't a piece of shit. So you might have tripped up there. You screwed up. It's gonna go down. Forget about it. He buys a car. She goes along, runs, goes along. Then suddenly, and he takes it to the worst bunch of assholes. He likes them because it's cheap. Of course, they never repair it. And then when there's nothing else to do, when even they can't pretend they can fix it, he buys another car, exactly the same piece of shit. So, pal, if this is my father's car, we'll be walking. I'm just telling you. What's this box? My old monkey. My old bird bank. Club Dominoes, double 12. I don't remember these. Huh? Hey, my old fountain pen! My old practical jokes. Old soldiers. Forgot about these cowboys. Indians. Guy on a motorcycle. How'd they get all broken off like this? I wouldn't have broken them. What's this book? 400 pounds. Seven Pillars of Wisdom. T.E. Lawrence. Is this Lawrence of, like, Arabia? I saw the movie. Is the book like the movie? I remember I wanted to read this after I went to see the movie. I saw it at the Criterion, Broadway. Sat in the last row, all the way up top. O'Toole, I am not an ordinary man. No prisoners! He orders a lemonade for the Arab boy. They won't give it. Never read it because it was fat. It was fat and I hated the title. Terrible title. Pictures! Is it at all like the movie? The book's like the movie. Not so bad. Till this piece of shit car breaks down. Anything on the radio?
You like the Beach Boys?
Anything else?
You like Be True to Your School?
That's the Beach Boys.
I know it is.
That's the worst song they ever did. Worst song anyone ever did. Isn't there some kind of, like, isn't there like, you know, like, kind of, isn't there some kind of selection? Tell you what, this is a mess. Box of old stuff, old man's car.
FDR Drive, Beach Boys Jive, Siskel Bar. Pretty damn shoddy little business, wouldn't you say? I don't see how you could make anything out of this. Furthermore, if I don't get out of here, what happens to you? You're stuck too, correct? I want to say something. I want to make one statement here. You know, if there was one or two people somewhere who could say something, could say just one goddamn thing that was halfway worth writing down, there might be a few more people carrying something to write with. That's what I wanted to say.
Had to do that shap strappers again. I could listen to that forever.